By the way, Democrat Congresswoman Ilhan Omar admitted her party is responsible for the DHS shutdown. Listen to this.
As many of you know, Democrats said we are not going to pass the appropriations bill for the Department of Homeland Security unless they agreed to 10 reforms, simple things like unmasking ICE agents when they were patrolling our communities.
All right, buckle up, folks. So we're diving headfirst into a political firestorm today with Congressman Byron Donalds absolutely torching some of the most ridiculous arguments coming out of Washington right now. From border security to election integrity, he's pulling no punches, and neither are we. Get ready because this is going to be a wild ride. Let's roll the tape.
Florida gubernatorial candidate Byron Donalds joins us this morning. All right, Congressman, you heard it right there, but the question is, what do voters think? Do they blame Republicans more than Democrats?
No, they blame Democrats because Democrats have been playing games with TSA and national security over the last 2 months. And it's all cynical political BS simply because the Democrats still cannot take the fact that they lost the 2024 presidential election. They do not want secure borders. They do not want interior enforcement of immigration. And the Democrats do not want to deport criminal illegal aliens. They want to protect them. The American people have never supported this type of position. That's why Donald Trump won the midterms. So whatever deal Mike Johnson and John Thune think they have, that's not with my vote. I'm not agreeing to that deal because we have a responsibility to fund all of ICE's operations and all of Customs and Border Patrol's operations. And let's be very clear, if you're not funding that, then you're not taking the security of the nation seriously.
All right, hold on a second. Byron Donalds just dropped a truth bomb so big, it could probably secure the border by itself. Cynical political BS, it's not just a catchphrase, it's the Democratic playbook, chapter and verse. They're effectively admitting, yeah, we're shutting down DHS because we want to make it harder to protect the country. What kind of twisted logic is that? It's like your doctor saying, I'm not going to treat your illness until you agree to let me perform surgery with a blindfold on and one hand tied behind my back. And let's talk about protecting criminal illegal aliens. This isn't some fringe conspiracy theory, folks. We've seen it time and time again. Sanctuary cities, refusal to cooperate with ICE, and now demanding the ICE agents be unmasked while patrolling communities. Unmasked? Are we talking about superheroes or law enforcement? This isn't a costume party. It's about national security and public safety. They want to make it impossible for these agents to do their jobs effectively, all while claiming they care about human rights. The American people have never supported this type of position. Amen, Congressman. Because normal people who live in the real world and pay taxes, understand that borders are not suggestions and laws are not optional. This isn't about compassion, it's about control and the fundamental disrespect for the rule of law. When you intentionally weaken border security and interior enforcement, you're not just playing politics, you're actively endangering citizens. It's a betrayal of the oath to protect the country, plain and simple. And Byron Donalds is absolutely right to call them out on it and refuse to play along with their dangerous games.
We already know the Democrats do not care about the security of this nation.
Next one for you. Governor Ron DeSantis in Florida signing the state's version of the Save America Act. That's the voter ID bill. Almost immediately, a coalition of voting and civil rights organizations sued. Why is voter ID so controversial? I don't get it.
It's controversial to Democrats because this is the only way they have a chance to win elections if you don't have strict controls on elections. And what you have to do in elections, which what we do in Florida, and we thank Governor DeSantis for signing this piece of legislation, it's only going to make things even more secure in our state, is that we treat our elections incredibly seriously. We make sure that ballots are carefully handled as like evidence in a criminal trial or a civil trial, because you want to make sure that you're protecting the ballot and the franchise of the American people. So the Democrats, they sue, and quite frankly, they sue all the time on all kind of ridiculous reasons, but they sue because they want weakness in the controls of our elections, so it helps them find votes to win elections. That's why they sue.
Whoa, they want weakness in the controls of our elections so it helps them find votes to win elections? Talk about putting the quiet part out loud. This is the fundamental truth that Democrats absolutely positively cannot stand for you to hear. They scream voter suppression at the mere mention of showing an ID, but let's be real here. You need an ID to buy a beer, to get on a plane, to pick up a package, to apply for a library card, and to even adopt a goldfish at some pet stores. But when it comes to the sacred act of choosing the leaders of the most powerful nation on earth, suddenly asking for proof of identity is racist or discriminatory? Bruh, give me a break. It's an insult to the intelligence of every single American citizen. The idea that a vast swath of the population is simply incapable of obtaining a photo ID is not only condescending, but is demonstrably false. Most states offer free IDs for those who can't even afford them. What they really mean is that they want an environment where it's easier for fraudulent votes to slip through the cracks. They want ambiguity. They want chaos because chaos benefits those who seek to manipulate the system. When you make it harder to cheat, you make it harder for them to win. It's that simple. Ron DeSantis and other conservatives are doing what's right by protecting the integrity of our elections, not suppressing votes. They're ensuring that only legal votes count, which should be the goal of every single American, regardless of political stripe. It's not controversial, it's common sense. Come on.
Crazy. Very quickly, 30 seconds, new polling shows healthcare is the number one worry among Americans. This as voters apparently less concerned about inflation, crime, and immigration, which used to be top issues. Is that what you're hearing from voters?
Yeah, healthcare is a real problem, and let's also understand this. Healthcare inflation is out of control because of the Democrat policy which governs healthcare in the United States, the Unaffordable Care Act, aka Obamacare. It was designed to increase the cost of health insurance in our country to force all Americans into a single-payer healthcare system. That's how it was constructed. It is not working. The Democrats refuse to make any concessions because they want to protect their policy framework that would drive people into higher costs, higher premiums, and higher deductibles. It's insane policy. We need to change it at the federal level, and states need to be focused on price transparency, making sure people have a clear view on the prices that they're going to pay, and then also lowering prescription drugs the way President Trump is doing with Trump RX.
We'll have to leave it right there, but we covered a lot of ground. Thank you so much, Congressman Byron Donalds, talking to us this morning. Thank you, sir.
And that's a wrap for today, folks. Byron Donalds laid out some undeniable truths that the mainstream media just doesn't want you guys to hear. From the deliberate undermining of our borders to the cynical attacks on election security, the fight for common sense is definitely real. What do you guys think about these issues? Let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you never miss out on another dose of truth.